is it here? Wait. Just waiting on when people get in here so I can have an audience to talk to. I should have people who watch my stuff on with Death Raven should be able to know that they're following here this channel as well. Plus, I just so happen to have more followers on this channel than I do on my Death Raven channel, which is funny. But this is the older account, so I guess that's the reason why. But my Death Raven account's good. Well, it might not seem like I'll be getting any followers in here. That's the people who are fans of my stuff or people who are aware of me, I guess. They have things they got to do otherwise, I would say. And I'm reaching out to a very small, very small audience out there. An extremely small audience. So I don't expect there will be that many people in here to come in and check out. Yeah. Had someone show up. I don't know who that was. They're probably just some looky loo. This is, I'm gonna give y'all a mirror of what my life looks like. I wish I could do this on Facebook. That'd be pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'd probably have a lot more numbers of people who would come in and watch. Since I have a lot more followers over there than I do over here on YouTube or Twitter. You know what Twitter was going to do before Elon Musk bought it up? They were going to make it where people could go on live like TikTok in a way, but also set it up where there was going to be some actual chat box where people could like talk to one another and such. Whenever live was going to be on, if it wasn't going to be live, then they could like send a text message or anything like be on YouTube or Twitch. Yeah. So tired. I had a lot of caffeine this morning though, so that's probably why. I had Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew Voltage. I think I have the Voltage still. I'm not sure. Oh no, I still have it. Fuck yeah. That's a win-win for me. Hell yeah. Let's go. Okay, so all right. I'm not going to waste any more people's time. If you're going to watch this video later on, cool. Otherwise, I don't know. What the video is going to be about is this. You've been here before. If you thought your life started at the moment of your birth, that's not true. That's not true at all. Well, technically it's true when it comes to actual birth, but not here from this world. See this body that I'm in, or the one that you're in, or your neighbors, the people, and everyone you think that's your identity. That's who you are. That's what you're gonna be. No, 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 no. Inside of every single person has a soul. Every soul has its its own vessel. It basically treat this body as a vessel, right? It's like a container. What happens at the moment of birth is whenever and we're getting confirmations right off the fucking bat. At the moment of birth, you basically enter the body of the baby right when it's either going to get born or when you are going to develop. Some people like to go into development stage, others like to go into a more like a birthing stage. And that's when they want to appear. But the body will maintain its existence as long as there's a soul presence. If it doesn't have a soul, it has to depend on life support. That's the reason why your cases of miscarriages that happen. There will be a spirit that will enter the body of a baby. But then they'll sit there and go, I don't want to be in this body anymore. So what ends up happening is it'll leave the body, and then guess what? The woman has a miscarriage. It's nothing to do with the woman in particular, it's the spirit. Spirit chooses what it wants to do in that process, in that entire moment. And it does so because it can. So, in the case of you, you were incarnated into this world as such. Your soul came and chose out a body, a family, and what you would be born into and what you would experience along the way. And also, a lot of the karmatic things that you did in your previous lives, you would have to pay off in this one. Hello. Now all of a sudden that doesn't sound good. No. Oh shit. So that means all the bad shit in life that you experienced was because of stuff that you did in your previous life to other people? Oh my fucking God, yes. But how? How could people be that way? Simple. Because it takes a long time to develop and grow a soul. Pretty much. And when you come to Earth, you're going to grow your soul fucking fast to a mature level, to an adult fucking level. Now, keep in mind, in order to come here to this planet, you have to be on your king shit. You have to be good at what you fucking do. You have to be the best of the best. The best of the best. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. You've been here before. In existence. Not maybe this Earth is your first time here on this planet. But you've incarnated into the body that you are living in. And once you die, just like everyone, their soul leaves their body. And guess what? That soul doesn't cease to be. No. It goes on. Either goes to heaven or makes a choice and wants to come back to Earth because it's stupid. That kind of happens. Sometimes it happens a lot. It happened to me. So I was stupid. I didn't know any better. So that's basically what I'm trying to point out to all of you. And I did it in under 5 minutes. With that, when I started talking, like actually talking about the birthing processes with the stuff. A lot of the things that you did in your previous life, you have done to others. maybe in your not in your past life once, but a long time ago in one life you might have, and you're like, ooh, do I have to do that? Do I have to go through the experience of understanding it? Well, here's the thing. You don't really learn anything until you actually experience it yourself. Now, what's the difference between that kind of experience versus the one where you have, let's say, in your life review, where you would experience what it's like, what you did to someone else, and that difference? That's more of a perspective, a judgment of what you're going to do to yourself based on what you have done in your previous life. So, yeah, whatever you want to be, you can be whatever the fuck you want. There's no judgment. However, when you're on the other side, you're connected to everyone. Communication, everyone understands one another. Two, intelligence is extremely fucking massive. Your consciousness goes through the fucking roof when you're on the other side. You know who you are. You are God, by the way. Yeah, God. You're God. Who would have thought? Yeah. You're part of God. God's part of you, and you're able to communicate with your loved ones and your family and friends, your pets and your previous pets. There's so much abundance of life everywhere. You're never alone. Never. Also, you have a spirit guide, and you have angels, and you have entities, I would say, that you could probably create within yourself. Like inside your heart, inside your soul, your kingdom is a fucking village of people. They're all working with you. You just didn't know it. Oh, see, this is the kind of shit I can talk about that will fall on deaf ears, and I don't have to worry about a single fucking thing of people coming back and going, "What the fuck are you going on about, Verena?" I knew this ever since I came back to this planet. And I mean that in the sense like when my soul departed this body, and then I was away for a little bit, and then I came back. And then, yeah, ever since then, it's like a slow, gradual process where I was safeguarded from all the tragedy of what happened to me. That way, I wouldn't have any PTSD or develop anything that would have been traumatic for me, like dissociative identity disorder, for example, or something a little bit more severe. But I guess gender dysphoria was something I always had when I was a kid. So to explain that, I would say it was to do with the fact that inside my inside this body, I possess a female spirit, and it's not a male masculine spirit. I've always been feminine in that sense. Now I think it can get aggressive. I mean, after all, born into a body of a male, even though I identify as a she, her, I'm a trans woman. I acknowledge the facts of my gender and my sexuality and my actual sex. What a concept. You mean I'm not a stupid woke shit or fucking broken redneck? No, I'm just a normal person, just like you. I'm more or less more conscious about things than most people or most average person is. And as far as the whole like awakening process goes, if that's a thing that's going to happen this year, I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that before. all I can recall is what I experienced from my near-death experience. But just from that alone, it gave me so much more knowledge than I could ever imagine, from being on the other side when I was dead. And let me tell you, there's not too many times I could say in my life I was happy that something horrible like that would have happened to me. But that's one of those things I can say I cannot take away, or say I can't look at the positive versus the con of what took place in order to show me something that would be life changing. Seriously. Seriously life changing. In other words, I had this world fuck me to death. Yep. I was fucked to death. And then reciprocated with CPR. Good times. Yeah. That's another thing to say. What's fucked up is that I haven't been fucked that hard since I was in third grade. Motherfucking people be like, what the fuck? Green. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm just sharing a little bit of my life, what I've experienced and what I've been through. And I'm perfectly okay with it because nothing really took away from me in the end. All it did is show me something that was awful about society, awful about life, awful about the experience. Taught me not to rape people. Yeah. Kind of teaches you something like when you get raped yourself pretty bad, yeah, you don't want to rape others. Yep. It's like you begot what you got, and I best think I'm not perfect, and no one of you are perfect, but that's okay. It's in that process when we learn how we can learn to forgive one another. That's when we can learn to grow. Because in the end, all the karmatic shit that happened to you, you did to others in your past lives. I'm not judging, and I'm not judging myself either. It's just a stated fact. We go through these things so we can learn to experience what it's like. And when we do good towards others, that's when we actually get to enjoy it. Enjoy life. We've done good for others. We've worked our asses off for others, done so much for others. And yes, we judge one another, criticize one another, and we're going to be criticized and judged in our next lives. But that doesn't happen when we go into one of these kind of experiences. When you die, you go back home to heaven. Like if you die, that's the best way I can put it. Like when you die. Like when your body is dead, vaporized, disintegrated, whatever, you're not coming back. Then you're severed. Your thread is severed from this body. You're able to go back home. You're good. And I've had a few of those experiences myself. Tightrope experiences. Kind of crazy experiences. Yeah, we've had. I'm not some OBE out of body experiencer like Darius J. Wright or somebody. And as far as people who've had near death experiences before, I haven't had that many. It's just maybe a few real ones. And that was it. What I can tell you is this: love can show up in your dreams and fill you up in ways that you don't even begin to know how powerful the spirit is of of what we are. What you are, what I am, what everyone else is, we're all connected. Which is another thing. When people communicate to each other on the other side, they don't do it by they don't do it that way. Use our minds. We use our minds to use telepathy. Basically, if you're able to communicate an entire fucking sentence, an understanding of something that you know, over to someone else, you're able to do so. And it's so effortlessly easy and non difficult. And people constantly receive information back and forth to one another about things. And it's like, oh, that's your truth. That's what you experienced. Interesting. Here's my truth of what I experienced. Here you go. Wow. It's like communication done through memory. Like boom, 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 boom. And that's how we communicate. You don't even have to speak the same language. You understand the person. That's how crazy it is. They could be talking in a dialect you've never heard before. And you're like, oh, I understand you. Like communication is not cut off. We're all connected when we're on the other side. It's quite fascinating stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to say what I saw in the future because I can't remember much of what I saw. What I know is that in the future, the Earth becomes a utopia. Yeah. I know there's going to be a lot of wars fought. This is one of the major ones. USA versus Iran. Eventually, it becomes USA versus Russia. And it becomes the world versus America. It's not good. Am I looking into the tapestry of strings in life right now? In a bit way, yes, I am. I hope we don't suffer the volcanic fate. That would suck. But Italy's got a super volcano over there. Recently had a pretty nasty volcano explosion long, long, long time ago in the past. There's so much to life and death. I could go on for hours talking about it, but it's pointless when I don't have an audience with me to bounce ideas or conversations with. And I guess it matters on what kind of energy you're presenting and what you look like and whether you are interesting to someone or not. Most people tend to turn away from information that's important or that would be useful for them or good. That's the world we're in right now. If there's this great awakening that people are talking about that's going to happen, where people are going to switch over from 3D to 5D, I've never heard of anything like that from what I remember from my NDE. But if it happens, cool. I think what would happen is more people would start recognizing me and start listening to my music. And they'll be going, holy fucking shit. But as far as what it would be like in the fifth dimension, I don't think we change dimensions that much. It's just changed worlds, I'd say, probably. You'll notice something else also. No one really is direct with you when it comes to these fucking things because they are shady as hell. If they have to use lies and deceit to confuse you, then they're doing it out of a place of fear to acceptance of others. That's the truth. They want to control others. I don't want to control a fucking thing. If anything, I just want to be friends and say, hey, cool. Hello. Well, and I'm much higher dimension, more people would be more open to me than they would be here on, than they would be on a third dimensional world. That's for sure. Mainly because I don't play by the third dimension rules. I pretty much gave society, everyone, a big middle finger and said, nope, not playing your authoritarian shit here, not going to comply with your political bullshit there. I'm going to live my life free as can be. And be happy too. Find my happiness. That's what I was looking for. Is to find my happiness in life, and I found it. It feels so good to be happy with yourself, to love yourself, truly love yourself with unconditional love. Now, some people might consider that conceited or narcissistic. It only becomes that way if it's selfish in nature. If it's not selfish and it's more of like you love yourself because you want to love others as well, then that doesn't become conceited at all. That becomes very, very, very enigmatic and beautiful. It's hard though to have unconditional love for others when they don't show any love towards you at all. And yeah, pretty much in my heart, it occupies a lot of emptiness. Inside of me, I feel like I occupy a lot of emptiness. Mainly because I'm just like, I've I have a desire of wanting, but because that desire of wanting for so long has been met with a lot of um, depr- things that were deprived of me, for me, and from me, I would say basically, or for me, it made me very, very, very fucking jaded in life. Like I wouldn't experience those things in the first place because of how it's been in my life historically. And there might be something else to that. Maybe it's that people don't associate with those for some reason because they don't want a darkness that basically confuses them into thinking that there's going to be nothing for them, if that makes any sense. And so they're fearful of the truth. They're fearful of light. That's the truth. The dark is always afraid of the light. The reason why the dark is afraid of the light is because the light shines. It dissipates the dark. The dark needs its own anonymity to survive. Without it, it has nothing to go on. I hope this all makes sense with people. I'm not going to talk about the future much other than this. No one can force you to do anything against your own will. You can tell them no. They will not comply. Okay? No one can force you to do anything you don't want to do in life. Keep in mind, you came here to experience life as a human, but you still have full agency of who you are, and you're God, basically. So you're not going to let any pipsqueak tell God what to do, right? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You have agency over yourselves. Y'all can live how y'all want to. Tell yourselves that y'all are special. Tell yourselves that you're meant for more in this world and meant for more in life. Because you are. Every single one of you are meant for so much more and then some. You just don't realize it. You don't know it yet. How truly special you are. Like if you had an idea of what existence is, really, you'd be fucking shocked. See, the reason why we don't have these memories already when we come into existence of a body is because the body itself is such a dense location and dense area, third dimension. And also, Earth is a very tough school. You go to Earth to cut yourself off from God, so you can break through, be your one little individual self, and think that you only existed once and now it's here. Is that what you really feel inside, though? Deep down inside? Like right in here, do you feel it in your heart that this is the only time you've ever existed? Answer truthfully now. It doesn't, does it? You've been here before. That's the theme of this video, is to say that you've been here before. You've incarnated before. This is nothing new to you. The experience that you're experiencing right now is one of many experiences you've had in life. So, in case you're wondering, you can be happy. You can be so happy. Also, I want you to take a close look at the timer on wherever they'll appear on the screen. There'll be moments when I'll say something that's clarifying in a way, in such a huge whoa, and you'll say synchronicity numbers. That's another thing I want to talk about when it comes to synchronicities. Synchronicities are interesting because basically what they state is that people on the other side can reach out to you and confirm something with you. You think you're out of touch with those people on the other side? No, they can hear you all the time, bitch. They know what you're thinking. They know what you're dreaming. They know what you're thinking. They know what you're spanking to. They know what you're doing. And they've got some questions. Why would you do what you do? Because they don't understand it. Maybe you do. But it's nothing to apologize for. People are free to do whatever the fuck they want. They do all sorts of weird shit. I have an aura about me, a brightness, a light inside. It's so bright and so shining that whenever I come across people, I get the feeling that I intimidate them because they're not used to someone as presentable as I am, I would say. That's the best way to put it. And how I present myself. So good. I might look like I command a lot of agency. That's because I do. I'm happy about that, though. I get to live a life that's full of pleasure and happiness. If I only let it happen. That's another thing I want to let you all know. Let go. Let go of everything. Literally. Everything that controls you or things you think you control really controls you. So let go. Let it go. Let it go. Let's go. Yep. You need to free yourselves. You need to open up yourselves. You need to let go. You do that, I can guarantee you let go of any worries or concerns or fears that you have in life, you'll be a lot fucking happier. What's gonna happen if you die? That's the ultimate fear that everyone on this world tends to have because they wonder, they're scared that this might be the end of their life if that were to be the case. But at the same time, if you have a perspective that this is the only life you've ever lived, you'd be a lot more safeguarding around it and worried and not actually living your life according to how you want to live it. I, on the other hand, I'm a perfect, like if you were to go in the dictionary and look up and say, what does the word liberate mean? Like someone who was free. And I don't mean like off the grid or some bullshit or like out in the country or some bullshit like that. No, I'm talking about like free in who you are inside. You know? I don't care. Whatever judgment people have about me or think about me, I find it fucking hilarious because, one, I know they're going to have a life review and they're going to look really fucking stupid. And you're going to be coming back and saying, oh my God, I should have listened to what you had to say, Farida Darkin. That was awesome. You were doing some great work there. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. Bye.